Jennifer Welch, the left wing American commentator, is infuriating the pro Israel mob for simply stating the obvious that TikTok and its algorithm is being heavily influenced by Zionists who are trying to push a pro Israel narrative. I think this is so commonly said now. I don't understand why these people find it so offensive. Of course, they're throwing out the word anti Semitism like it's candy. We're kind of used to that. So I'm just going to play a short clip of this and let's talk about it because it's actually funny at this point how much they're obsessed with trying to make people come off as anti Semitic. It's just something else. So take a listen to this clip here.
TikTok being owned by Jewish people
Right.
isn't a problem. TikTok being owned by pro IDF donating Zionists that want to game the algorithms in the same way that Elon Musk gamed the algorithms that's the clear problem. You have people that are supremacists. Elon Musk thinks that only smart men.
So let's just stop right there. I can't play the whole thing just for copyright reasons. Just wanted to play that short clip. Very basic stuff. Very basic stuff. They want to buy the algorithm. Larry Ellison, David Ellison's father, is currently in the process of buying TikTok. I mean, Netanyahu even gave a speech and he said the most important sale is TikTok. These people aren't trying to hide the fact that they just want to retrain the algorithm. But apparently that pisses off the pro-Israel mob. They really are a mob in the way that they operate so much. So they just went after her. So Nicholas Van however his last name is spelled, this guy goes on social media really just ranting about this, and it's funny the way he writes it. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys. Jennifer Welch claims that Zionists, not the CCP, control TikTok's algorithm and are using it to manipulate everyone to support Israel and ignore how much they want to, quote, ethnically cleanse Gaza. She claims Israel spent a lot of money to make Islamophobia the next big thing. Truly, this is, guys, this is something else. I love the fact that they put this stuff in air quotes, ethnically cleanse Gaza. Islamophobia, because what they're trying to do is make it seem like it's not actually a legitimate thing that Israel's attempting for to ethnically cleanse Gaza. When they put it in air quotes, they're trying to delegitimize it. It's pretty obvious. They're pretending like it's some ridiculous accusation that Israel clearly is not doing, even though every Israeli official has been saying that that's their long-term aim, that that's their short-term aim even. All right, so that's the first thing. Jennifer Welch claims Zionists, not the CCP, controlled TikTok's algorithm. What does this man think that the new head of hate speech of TikTok is now an IDF, is a former IDF officer? This just happened a couple of months ago. Larry Ellison now is in the process of wanting to purchase TikTok. The whole reason they went after TikTok is not because China. It has everything to do with Israel. They could have went after it years ago. They tried to, and then all of a sudden the pressure subsided. It's very obvious now that it's because of the fact that Americans and young Americans have lost support for Israel. You can't undo that. And actually, what's so funny about this is why I truly laugh, is because the more that they try to do this stuff, the more it's going to backfire. You know, go ahead, control the algorithm, let Larry Ellison own it, shove that pro-Israel propaganda down our throats. People don't buy it. But you know what people do buy? Well, they love it when you hate Arabs. They love it when you hate Muslims because it's a lot harder to get people to like Israel nowadays, but it's a lot easier to get people to hate Muslims. And as long as Israel knows that that most people hate the other side more, then it's kind of like the enemy of your enemy is my friend type of thing, where as long as Israel gets enough of the world to hate Muslims, then it can easily push its campaign of colonization, its campaign of apartheid, its campaign to expand its borders all across the Middle East, because it's going to say it's doing it against those pesky Muslims. That's been Israel's entire objective. And so she's going out saying that they're going to spend a lot of money pushing Islamophobia. Here's the thing. We know that the government of Israel, the Foreign Affairs Ministry, literally paid firms. They paid research firms to conduct studies in Europe and assess how to get people to support Israel most. And they've conducted actual studies in set in across all of Europe in many different countries, and they've concluded that it's easier to get Europeans to dislike Muslims than it is to get Europeans to like Israel. And that was a really good data point for Israel because it read that and it was like, wow, this is really good information. We need to stop the Israel propaganda and push the anti Arab hate because it still works in our interests, anyways. So the idea that she's saying they're going to really start pushing Islamophobia, that's that it only benefits Israel. That's in Israel's geopolitical interests to make sure that the West hates Arabs and to make sure that they push that hate as far reaching as they can. Because as long as you're preoccupied hating Arabs, then the fact that Israel is destroying and sucking your countries dry financially doesn't matter. And what I find so funny about this, and this is really what gets me every single time, is that if you hate Muslims so much, and you don't want to see them in your countries, then stop supporting Israel. If you don't want to see Muslims in the West, then stop supporting the country that's hijacked the US military to bomb every Middle Eastern country for its security. If you want to stop seeing Muslims in the West, stop supporting the country that's causing refugee crisis in the Middle East and sending them to the West. This is real logical stuff, guys. You really don't. This isn't some like nuanced conversation. Stop supporting Israel, and then there won't be Muslims leaving the Middle East because of a refugee crisis. Right now, Israel has been pushing the United States for war with Iran. Israel has been wanting war with Iran for as long as you can think. And every single time they have been pushing for this war, they're just hoping that they can have the Shah go back in place and it's going to be a pro-Israel government. And maybe that will happen. Maybe that will happen, but maybe it won't. And maybe some sort of civil unrest starts and maybe a civil war breaks out. We don't know how these things actually end up working out. We can't predict the future. That's what Israel hopes. But if there is a civil war or if something else happens and it doesn't go Israel's way, and then there's another refugee crisis and those Iranians end up fleeing, millions of them, it's going to create more of the exact problem that the West states that they don't want. Yet they still support the country that has been focusing on regime change operations across the Middle East for years. That's really kind of how it seems like things go at this point. Let's just get people to hate Arabs, bomb Arab countries, and then the Israelis are going to send the Arabs to your countries, and then they're going to act like they're innocent. This is actually really funny. I'm glad. I'm pretty sure I have this video bookmarked, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. There was a video that's going viral. I don't know if you guys have previously seen it. This was from a year ago, where the IDF started celebrating the fact that Mohammed is the most common baby name in the UK. Did anybody else see this? And they're like, this is great. We should have more Mohammeds in Sweden and Britain and all of these other countries. This is exactly what we want because we just don't want them in our country. Let me see if I can scroll through. I swear I almost bookmarked that. And if I haven't, then it's fine. I'll find it for you guys another day. But they were celebrating they were literally celebrating among each other. And what's so funny is one of the people that was doing this was Itamar Ben-Gvir, Israel's security minister. And he was among the crowd also celebrating. I'll have to look for it a different day. And they were all just cheering about the fact that more Mohammeds are in Sweden. He's like, yes, this is exactly what we want. Send them over there. Don't send them here. This is gonna be great. And this is how they operate, guys. So anyways, no surprise there. Jennifer, just keep doing your thing. These people are crazy. I think that in this day and age, again, I don't support hate against anybody. I want to make that clear for a lot of reasons and for YouTube guidelines. So that's not what I'm doing here. But I think the word anti-Semitism has very clearly been weaponized to mean things that it really shouldn't mean, which is not being in support of Israel. Being anti-Israel is now anti-Semitic. And I think that if you haven't been called that at this point, then you probably haven't been criticizing Israel enough. So anyways, guys, I hope you found this video interesting. I'd appreciate it if you can click the subscribe button below and give it a thumbs up as well. It helps me